Hello, I'm here at the booth of BJOOKS, and Kim Bjørn, you have a little bit time for us. Thank you very much for that. You are here in Berlin to show us some world premieres, and you are coming up with a new book and a little bit more. Please tell us a little bit about.
Thank you, Ben. Yes, we have a new book out, which is not just a book, it's actually a bundle that is made in collaboration with KORG. And it's PATCH&TWEAK with KORG is the title of the new book. So it's in our PATCH&TWEAK line. Preceding was the PATCH&TWEAK with Moog. And now we have this out, and it's a bundle with this new magnificent device, the NTS-2. So this one is an oscilloscope and a tuner, and also actually a dual waveform generator to be used with all sorts of gear, not just Eurorack, but also maybe your normal synthesizer, I would say so.
Okay.
So that's been really fun to collaborate with KORG on this thing, and especially because the book is about the MS-20 Mini, the ARP2600M, and the Volca modular, and this little utility is really handy working with semi-modular synthesizers.
Can you show us a little bit what we can do with it?
Definitely. This is the tuner. Now we don't really have an input right now, but we could do that. But you maybe want to see the scope. We have maybe I should show you the back first. You have actually these are stereo inputs and through. So you have actually 4 inputs, and then you have 2 outputs for the function generator.
Okay.
You have a USB connection which you can power, but it's also battery powered, and which it is now actually. And this is also for firmware updates, and it's the same form factor as the NTS-1, which was a synthesizer. But this has other functions. So first up there's the scope. Right now we have an input. We can actually take an LFO maybe to input to this, and you can see now we have the input on the screen with the LFO. And you can actually have 4 inputs, and you can choose, how is it going to scale on the display. Let's go here, see how I can scale it. And so that is one thing. There's an FFT analyzer. Here you have the tuner, where you have different modes. You can have a meter like this, or you can have a needle, the classic KORG tuner needle, so to speak. You can calibrate, and you can actually have also the scope beneath the tuner. It's quite handy. Then you also have what I think is very exciting, the dual waveform generator. Which is basically, so it's 2 functions coming out of the 2 outputs. You have an oscillator with different shapes, and you can even modify those shapes in different ways. There's the pitch, which can also be by notes. So you can say I want to output an A3 note, droning voice. So there's all sorts of great possibilities with this. It can be a reference voice, it can be just a drone.
Is it working on its own as a generator, or does it need an incoming signal?
No, it is continuously, but you can also actually, so it doesn't take any input for triggering, but you can actually push and start. So now it says push here on the cycle mode. So that's one setting, but I could also have it in one shot. So I just can output a tone beep, if I want to.
Okay.
Or it could be continuously running like droning oscillator. And that is quite exciting because that goes for all of the functions. So you have an LFO, and you can have different LFO shapes, obviously. Again, you can change the phase, you can change if it's bipolar or unipolar. And you can also decide the frequency in BPM or in Hertz, which is pretty clever, I think. But then you can also attenuate it if you want to here. You can also, maybe should just go so here.
Yeah, this is good.
Yeah. So here you can actually choose if it's a one-shot LFO cycle, it runs. Or if it's like, whenever I push down and hold the button, the start-stop button, it actually runs and then it stops.
Okay.
Or I could say it's continuously running, maybe at a certain BPM. So it could be I want 105 BPM LFO running, or I could go into the hertz mode, for example. So
you can use it as another modulation source.
Exactly, it's perfect for like inputting here to the KORG MS-20 Mini, like a semi-modular where you may need some extra functions.
Okay.
So it's specifically made for it could be for Eurorack also if you need an extra LFO or envelopes. What I really like about this envelope generator is it's exponential or linear. You can choose that, and you can choose the shape of it, and you can choose how long is it going to be, the duty. And as with the LFO also on the oscillator, you can say, is it a one-shot envelope I'm gonna do, or is it continuously like a looping envelope, which actually also could work as a kind of vanilla LFO like this, for example. And then there could be, you could also have like an input. You want to see maybe the other LFO I'm inputting from the MS-20 Mini. I'll just slow it down a bit here. So you can see if I wanted to match this envelope triggering or whatever to this LFO from the MS-20, you can do that sort of stuff also. So that's really exciting, I think. So you have all this functionality. You also have triggers you can do. It's called pulse here. So normal positive, but the negative is actually the one you would use for an MS-20 because it has S triggers. Again, you can have it like continuously going, so you can use it to trigger or synchronize maybe like different machines. So it's also a clock output. Or simply just trigger envelopes in another system or whatever functions.
The connection is at first to the KORG MS-20, but you can also connect it to any other kind of synthesizer.
Definitely, any Eurorack compatible, you know, mini jacks, we use the normal. But this, right now I have a mono here, but if you use a stereo splitter, you can have the two inputs here and you can have two other inputs here, and the outputs are two mono outputs for your system. And you can scale the voltages to match your system.
Okay.
So that's why it has a lot of cool functionality.
So is this just developed for BJOOKS or for your projects, or is it also available from others?
It's a collaboration with KORG, so it can be used with any machine you have, but right now it actually comes with the book in a bundle.
Okay.
And this book there's a foreword by Kitaro, and we also go through the KORG instruments, just as we do with some of the other books on semi-modular. We actually explain the NTS-2 oscilloscope here, and I use it in some of the patches. So this book has a lot of patches, a lot of interviews with artists, and also the engineers behind the machines. So we go through some of the basics of the different machines and talk to the engineers, like here Mr. Mieda from KORG, and the ARP 2600M, which can be hard to understand for some people that are new to this. And we are not all seasoned synthesists, and so I think it's important to let new people come to this and experience the wonders of semi-modular. So this is, you know, explaining the voltage processors of the 2600, explaining the Volca modular, the utilities there. And what I found really interesting about this book was actually to talk about these three very different instruments that are also on the cover, because it's very different approaches to synthesis. And also obviously we talk about the sequencers like the SQ1 here, and also the SQ64 sequencer, and how you can use them as modulation sources or whatever. So this is some of examples of some of the patches in the book. There's different artists also providing patches in the book. So you dive deep into synthesis in connection to this KORG synthesizers. Definitely. And show what you can do with them. And yes. Yeah. There's a lot of learning possibilities, I think, and exploration. Whether you have a Volca modular or you have something more advanced, and even if you have the original versions of the MS-20 and the ARP 2600.
I think this is very exciting, and I cannot remember that anybody else has released a combination between hardware and a book.
Me neither. It's very exciting for us to have been working with KORG on this, and I think this bundle, it's the same size as the book approximately, and as it says on the side, you get the book, but you also get this kit you assemble yourself, and it's been an amazing collaboration. I'm really happy that KORG wanted to do this, and for me it's like also a dream come true, because we can work with teaching people synthesis and giving them new tools this way, with some literature, some inspiration with interviews, patch examples, and then this really cool tool. So that's really exciting.
And yes, this is an important question for the customers. What will be the price for this bundle?
Yeah, the vague answer I can give right now is I'm not the one to give the price. I don't really know the exact price. It depends on where in the world you are.
Yeah, okay.
But I think it's around 200 something euros for the bundle, and I think it's a good price, because component prices are up, paper prices are up, and by bundling these two elements together, we can do it in a more affordable way. It's available from KORG resellers. It's not available from the BJOOKS website, because we only sell books. But you can buy it at Thomann, Perfect Circuit, other places around the world.
But the book will be also available alone, as you normally release your books, or is it?
Probably not. We don't know yet. It depends on the demand.
Okay.
I think for now I'd say that this bundle is really
the focus
really nice.
is on the bundle.
Yes, exactly. Also because it's a really good connection, and I think if you're someone who just wants the book or just the oscilloscope, then you have a nice present for a friend.
Yeah, definitely.
So
you would be very happy, I can imagine. So I guess if you have put so much power into this project, this will be not the last one where we can see some combos like that.
You never know.
You never know.
Yeah,
okay.
Nothing is planned right now in terms of that. But I think it's really exciting, and I like working with this stuff also, because I'm exploring so many instruments and so many patch options when I'm doing the books. So being able to actually also collaborate with KORG on this has been really exciting, I think. Our next book, as you may know, is the Inspire the Music.
That was my question, yes. It's in the pipeline now.
Yes, the Roland, 50 years of Roland history.
Yeah.
It's going to be out later this summer. But obviously that's going to be a very big book. At least 400 pages, and with like 70 interviews, and a lot of world-renowned artists, and a lot of historical vintage instruments from Roland's, from drums to drum machines to synthesizers, sequencers, what you have. So
so a lot of things are happening at BJOOKS, and
definitely.
You are busy permanently and looking for good new ideas, and I wish you good luck with all your activities. Thank you very much for your presentation and your time.
Thank you, Ben.
Thank you.